Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to jump on this morning. Well, actually, it's nearly afternoon here where I am, and look at Donald Trump's trip in the motorcade, apparently for a health checkup at Walter Reed. Of course, there is vision now of emerging of Donald Trump getting quite quickly into his motorcade with one of the physicians from the White House. I think it was the chief physician. So the White House press secretary Stephanie Grisham is saying that this was a routine checkup. However, it didn't follow any of the protocols. So there is something there that we are not being told. I did read on Donald Trump's health on Thursday on another platform. And I have been including his health, as you know, for a number of months. The reading last week before he went into Walter Reed indicated that I felt there was a problem around. I felt in his head that there, I can hear you laughing. There is a problem in his head, but it was almost around pressure. I felt a building pressure, and so it could have been that he was unbalanced in some way. I mean, physically lost his balance, or this could have been anything from high blood pressure to a panic attack, for example. But I just felt this build-up of pressure in his head. So I'm not buying the story that he was just there to have a health check. I think that there was a turn. He took a turn of some sort. Now, the big question is, as part of this previous reading that I did, it indicated that moving to Florida, becoming a Florida citizen, and I did mention this last week as well, could be part of an overall strategy for when he leaves office. Do you think that he will stay around? We've now had Louisiana re-electing its Democratic governor. We've had the Kentucky win, or you've had the Kentucky win. I feel like it's a victory for me too. And we've had, is it Michigan turning blue? So there's significant wins and all sorts of indications that Trump will struggle in 2020. Can you see someone like Donald Trump going out like that, losing an election, being open prey to those that want to seek justice, or do you see him leaving before that might happen and cutting some kind of deal on his own terms? Is this trip to the Walter Reed part of that? I do feel he has genuine health problems, so let's drill down on that and have a look at it. So we've got a plan, the Two of Wands, some kind of crossroads that he is at the moment, and perhaps the need to formulate a longer term plan. So the phrasing of our question: tell me about the trip to Walter Reed. Did Donald Trump have serious enough health problems that warranted almost a dash to hospital? Did Donald Trump attend Walter Reed because of a physical problem? Was he at the hospital to get checked up due to a pressing physical problem? Donald Trump, Walter Reed. Donald Trump, Walter Reed. Did he go to Walter Reed for an urgent health check? All right, let's have a look at what we're going to get. So we've got the Four of Wands as the signifier card. This is my card for the Democrats, but it's also looks a little bit like Mar-a-Lago, depending on what context we're reading in. I do believe this is a signifying card for the amount of pressure that the impeachment inquiry that the Democratic Party is undertaking is putting on him. He's not winning, is he? Yeah, and he's challenged by his downfall. Okay, so that's pretty good. When I say pretty good, it's pretty good validation of what I was thinking. So there is both the pressure that's coming from the impeachment inquiry could have been a spike in his blood pressure, some kind of loss of balance is what I was getting. And challenged by his downfall. So that's the challenge for him. So that's at one level. At another level, it is this kind of exit strategy that people are talking about. I have felt for some time he is thinking, we've had those Freudian slips, talking about life after politics, and of course wanting to do a White House apprentice in Mar-a-Lago. These sorts of things are indicating that his thoughts are going beyond just politics. So we've got those two signifier cards in relation to this question. Let's have a look at the foundation. Cadet Bone Spurs is striking again, trying to make a getaway. Foundation of the reading is that he's being exposed for potential lawlessness, alleged lawlessness. This is what the impeachment is all about. And he's not winning. It's the narrative that the GOP are spinning. It's not a winning narrative at this point in time. So foundation of the reading, trying to get away with something. Okay, let's see what's in the past. The Emperor, but the Emperor is in the past, and this is also at another level control. What happens when he loses control? Do you think he'll put himself willingly into that position? Will he go to 2020 facing loss and then be at the mercy not only of his own party, who are looking for somebody to blame, but the Democratic Party now in power post-2020 looking for justice? This is all about control, but this is in the past position. So I do feel, and I have felt for some time, that he is making decisions. What's the potential here? We have the King of Pentacles, and as you know, this is Donald Trump as he presents as a businessman, and this is in the future position. So again, a level of cutting his losses. Funny that we're talking about health and we're pulling the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. This is very much a position of his own making. And so if he is ill and he has had a turn for the worst, nobody wants to see anyone in that position. But this is the position of his own making. He got elected on divisive rhetoric and gaslighting and promoting those kind of racist sentiments. He had another way to go once he could have risen to the office that he held, but we just saw this constant gaslighting over two years. So this is a situation, this losing, this pressure, this, being booed when he goes out in public, lock him up. This is a situation of his own making. The immediate future is the Tower card for Donald Trump, and it is landing and connecting with these cards here. The Donald Trump, the businessman, and we've got the Seven of Swords. That's a betrayal card. The Tower is coming. Now we're talking about his health. This is pointing to perhaps a panic attack, perhaps a rise in blood pressure. We've got the Ace of Swords suggesting that there will be new starts, but this is also the sword of truth. This is the sword of justice. This is the truth coming out about Trump, the businessman. What is the environment around illusions and delusions? So again, I'm getting this loss of balance for Trump. Something in his head, something is occurring. As I said, it could be that spike in blood pressure. It could be a loss of control, a loss of balance. And it's brought on by what we're seeing in this part of the reading. He's fearing, again, the Queen of Swords is the Democratic Party. It is my card for Pelosi and her Democrats in Congress. It is my card that comes up for the impeachment inquiry. This is in the fear position for him. So we've got the truth here, we've got the delusions, we've got the Tower, we've got these two cards, and we've got a downfall for him. The outcome, there's going to be some kind of, the Page of Wands, there's going to be some kind of communication. Now the other side of this is that I don't think it was totally serious. If it was serious, this would be a different card. It feels to me like there's going to be something else in relation to communication that's going to emerge that he is worried about. Um, Again, as I said, if this was, it's a page which is indicating that perhaps the health issue that he faced was resolved reasonably quickly. Although this is my card for ill health, the Four of Swords is indicating a retreat. Now, this is interesting because this page could also talk about an announcement that might come down the track. This is in the future outcome position. This is a communication of some sort, and this is the card, as I said, of ill health and retreat. Again, this could be setting him up for eventual leaving of office, because we've got the Knight here, and this is the truth and action being taken on the truth. So it's within the realm of possibility that there was a health problem that made him go. I feel it is around blood pressure, panic, pressure coming on him, but he's worried about the future. So again, this could also, with Trump, there's more than one reason why he does something. This could also play into the storyline of ill health, and that's why he might not stand in 2020. Let's have a look at what's at the basis of the pack. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, his independence, his financial independence. We've got Temperance and a rebalancing occurring, and we've got the Magician actualizing something into reality. We have the whistleblowers, and we have the Queen of Cups, something that is needing to come to the surface. So when I look at those base of the pack, and of course this card flew out, a plan in time, I see a couple of levels. I see they rebalancing from this kind of self-serving money, commerce, expansion for personal gain that we're seeing demonstrated in Ukraine. This wasn't just about holding up funds for congressional funds for Ukraine. This was also about doing business in some way. This was about Trump's own commerce and expansion, and also for his allies, those around him. Most of all, I think it goes to the heart of what Putin wants and Putin's agenda, and of course a payoff for that in some way. So I'm seeing that there, but I'm also seeing a rebalancing here. Again, the rule of law and a rebalancing in around December, January, and actualising this impeachment inquiry, and the truth emerging is all in this particular reading. But back to what he's doing and back to his health. There is a health problem. The fact that the page turns up, I feel that it was dealt with at Walter Reed. There is a truth going to emerge around his health problems. There is a communication that's going to come forward, and possibly, we'll have to read on it, this communication could lay the foundation for perhaps a deal that he might take to step down. I found it interesting that Pence's advisor used the words that the telephone conversation with the Ukrainian president was inappropriate. This positions Pence in a different light. This is his advisor. So it will be interesting to see how the Republicans move forward and how the vice president moves forward. So let's have a look at whether or not Donald Trump will use health as leverage to stand down. Let's have a look at that. Okay, will Donald Trump use his health as a leverage to walk away, retreat from the presidency? Donald Trump's health, will he use it as a storyline, as a leverage, as a narrative as to why he would leave the presidency? Will Donald Trump use his health in any way as a reason that he might not stand in 2020, to cut a deal, to create a narrative around cutting a deal? Will he use his health in the future as a reason to leave the presidency? Will Donald Trump use his health ill health as a reason to leave the presidency. Okay, so we've got the moon card as the signifier card, and this is also confusion and can point to a mental health problem. Did he have an aneurysm, for example? Is there concern around his physical and his mental health? This is something that is needing to come to the surface. It's also secrets, keeping secrets, and we've got a challenge by isolation for Donald Trump. And also investigation and introspection. He's challenged by the current investigation of his secrets. That is affecting him in some way, affecting his health. We've got the Eight of Swords. This is a real quickening of energy here. I do feel that over the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to see an acceleration of all that we read on, that tarot card readers and psychics have been reading on. There's going to be this acceleration over the next 2 to 3 months, things coming forward very, very quickly. I asked, was he going to use his health? This is suggesting that something in relation to his health is going to come forward quite quickly. In the past, we've got him defending himself with this Seven of Wands. And that's the impeachment inquiry. This is a yes card, and this is also a new start. This is also an emotional, tapping into the emotions in some way. So I'm feeling that this is a yes, and I'm feeling that we're going to be hearing about it in the future. 2 aces in the near future. I asked, was he going to use his health in some way as a cover narrative for retreat? There's also some kind of deal here, as I said, with this Ace of Pentacles that he could be doing and I've said this, he would cut a deal. He wouldn't go out a loser. We've got him presenting here with the Lovers card. Let's see. He's a Gemini. That's the card for Gemini energy, which means that he could actually be talking to someone. I've seen this conversations in the past occurring perhaps with the Republican Party about potentially leaving. Now he's lost. Did he have a litmus, a line in the sand? Was there a litmus test? If I lose in Kentucky, if I lose in Louisiana, what are the lines in the sand, and when does that trigger something like this? There is incredible anxiety, and Donald Trump is only a human being, and I feel that with this Moon card, I feel this could have been a panic attack, as I said before, but he is under tremendous stress, and it is a stress of his own making. Hopes and fears that he moves on, and this can be a relocation card, a travel card. This is moving on to smoother waters. It's sitting right on top of his anxiety card, and we've got the partisanship. We've got the factionalism. This is the outcome. Whatever he does, it will be to. There are ways that he gets back at his enemies to rile up his base as well. And we've got the investigator here, the King of Swords, and this is what he's worried about. This is also to throw a smoke screen into the mix, in a way to garner some kind of sympathy. I don't think it's working, because at the base of the pack we have the Knight of Swords. The impeachment inquiry continues. We've got his downfall. But unfortunately, we've got the Death card as well. I don't know that this is for his demise. One wouldn't wish his demise, but it's certainly for the ending of his presidency. I do feel this is going to come sooner rather than later. I've always felt that we'll wake up one morning and we'll have an announcement. We've got things turning. This is a karmic cycle, and we've got the impeachment inquiry and the Democrats. Unfortunately, this is not a win situation for him. So I feel that he could be thinking about leaving, and there was a health issue with him. Let's see what's he going to do at Mar-a-Lago, because that would be eventually where he would go, where he'd hang out. What's he going to do there? Because we got that Five of Wands, that's, again, riling up his base, being in a stronger position for him. If he's not the president, he can pretty much do what he wants, but he's facing a lot of prosecution. He's got a lot of matters before the court. Well, actually, let's backtrack. Let's ask if he's going to do a deal, and would that deal be removing that obstruction, not being indicted for obstruction of justice? I think that would be one of the main things, and the second would be trying to shore up his finances. There would only be a level of, I guess, deal making that he could do. The other option is for him to leave and Pence to pardon him, so maybe we should go there. Okay. All right. Does Donald Trump would be disaster for the Republicans if it came down to that? Is Donald Trump wanting a pardon from Mike Pence? Is this all part of the deal as well? Is Donald Trump wanting a pardon? Would Pence then pardon Donald Trump? Is Donald Trump wanting a pardon from Mike Pence? If Mike Pence became the president, would he pardon Donald Trump? So this is a kind of a future scenario, but we've got a plan here with this Ace of Wands. Aces are generally yes cards for me. This is a plan here. But it's challenged again by illusion and delusion. Would they be able to pull something like that off? Choices, having to make choices, not being able to make that choice. All right, let's see what we've got. Loss here, the Five of Cups. So if they did do that, that would be a huge loss. We've got restriction in the past, the Eight of Swords. This can also be imprisonment as well. We've got Eight of Cups, walking away, leaving behind a situation that is no longer working for him, giving and receiving help in the future. This could also be his tax returns. We've got the Devil currently, chained to the Devil. And we've got loss, the Three of Swords. Loss and betrayal is currently what is occurring at the moment. This is not Donald Trump. There's, the GOP is just being dragged down with him. We've got the King of Cups in the hopes and fears. This is this new energy moving through. And we've got the Three of Pentacles, dark money in politics, teamwork to fix something, achieve something. We've got work, the Eight of Pentacles, something needing a lot of work. And we've got Four of Swords, mortally wounded, retreat. It's highly likely that this could be another part of the plan, another scenario that he's planning out. Base of the pack, 10 of Pentacles. He's actually quite insecure about his money, about the Trump organization, about losing everything. And we've got this tug-of-war going on at the moment, and a review of his goals, because it's just getting hard to it's hard work for him. So this Three of Pentacles, working together in teams to create an outcome in order for him to retreat, to leave, basically. Tell me more about this. We've got we had two aces in the last reading on the ground. Let me just get some clarity. I'll put those base of the pack cards back in, and let's get some clarity on this Three of Pentacles. This Eight of Pentacles would take a lot of work. I'm not sure that he could pull it off. I feel the other scenario, that he cuts the deal and leaves, would be would be more likely? Tell me about this Three of Pentacles. Would Pence pardon in the outcome position? Would Pence pardon Trump? Tell me about this Three of Pentacles. Got Temperance and balance, a rebalancing. Yeah, I'm not feeling this is yeah, we've got his downfall. No, I'm not feeling that, and the truth. So I'm not feeling this is possible. Perhaps he was thinking about it. Perhaps they discussed it. It's not possible for Pence to do that, I don't think, without costing the Republican Party even more. So let's go back to cutting a deal, which I thought was a more of a realistic scenario. You know, drop that obstruction of justice, leave my money alone, and I'll go. And I go out on my terms, saying that my health is suffering because of the coup that's occurring, etc. And I go out gaslighting, and then I can go to Mar-a-Lago and continue to gaslight and be a winner. It's all about commerce and expansion for Trump, and so it'll come back to that. All right, he will take any opportunity that he can post office. Okay, so will he try and cut this deal to drop any possibility of an indictment on that obstruction of justice? Will Trump try and cut a deal with the GOP? Will Trump try and cut a deal and Pelosi? Is Trump trying to cut a deal in order to leave office? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I heard that. So putting together a plan, this Two of Wands, which will mature in time. But the challenge here is loss, walking away. That's my resignation card. So at the moment, he's trying to put that plan together. Yeah, we've got the Ten of Swords. It's around his total and utter downfall. In the past, we've got the Hanged Man, unable to move forward. We've got the Yes card, new starts, but it's also justice as well. It as a potential future, immediate future. There is loss for Donald Trump, absolutely. We've got the Page of Swords currently in the current position. To me, that says there is some kind of news that will come out in relation to some kind of truth here for Trump. He's expecting it, and it is around his win in 2016. This is like the spy in the camp. So there is something else aside from Ukraine that's going to emerge. The hopes and fears, it's almost like what occurred in 2016, this presenting an offer to the electorate. This is Russia. This is the truth around his relationship with Putin. We've actually got the High Priestess, which has come out reversed, which is showing that his secrets will be revealed. But yeah, we've got Mar-a-Lago, so not holding on to secrets. Again, we've got that Mar-a-Lago card, and we've got the Devil, who is chained too. So in this reading, I'm feeling that there is this deal he's cutting. It is because the truth will emerge around his relationship with Russia, and particularly around what occurred in 2016. We've got the Two of Cups, we've got the Strength card, and we've got his commerce and expansion, which is always coming up now. And we've got the Lovers, and we've got Mother Russia. So all roads do lead back to Russia. He appears to, I don't even think he's trying to cut a deal on the impeachment. I think he's trying to cut a deal because he understands that his relationship with Russia, his history with Russia, Russian ties to his business, however you want to call it, is going to be coming out, and that's where he wants to leave. He wants to leave before that occurs, because he would be in an untenable position. So no wonder he got, in a way, his secrets are dropping. No wonder he went to Walter Reed. He's not winning bigly. The truth is coming out. So in summary, my intuition, and I could be right, I could be wrong, my intuition is that he went to Walter Reed either because of a panic attack blood pressure spikes, something around the head. He might have become unbalanced, is what I'm feeling. And this is all part of a future scenario where he strikes the deal of the century. Imagine how he would term that, and retreats to high ground at Mar-a-Lago, and of course continues on with his money making schemes, I guess, such as the White House Apprentice, etc. There will be this continual factionalism that he will promote. He won't be done gaslighting, but pretty soon it will be just his cult-like base that will be there, because the truth is emerging, and that's the deal breaker for Donald Trump, the total truth about his relationship with Russia, his past relationship, and around what occurred in 2016. It looks like we're going to get that truth. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again with another reading. Thank you.